Optimism isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's fixing things, changing the way we fix things. It's running the world on smarter energy. Because if optimism never stops, then change can't either. GE Vernova, the energy of change.
Folks out there, for your paycheck, if you're having problems like on payday with your check, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, folks. Escalate that, be polite, more bees with honey. But I think if you really escalated enough, you'll get your money that day. You know what I mean? And you need it, and you're due that money. And in some cases, it's legal, and you legally owe me my money right now. And it's up to you if you want to wait to get it, right? Welcome back, folks. This is episode 14 of It's About Your Paycheck. We're talking about customer service today. And before we get into it, how you doing today, sir?
I'm a little melancholy.
I'm sorry. As soon as you gave the hesitant time, I was like, oh, crap.
I'm a little melancholy. My boys, they were frozen fish out there.
Tuna fish.
Yeah, frozen fish.
Tuna fish.
Yeah, frozen tuna fish. I like that. Yeah, tuna fish. Yeah, they did not look good. We scored a touchdown by Luck. He caught it and broke a couple tackles and scored.
What I was saying is maybe the ice helped them in that one instance with the touchdown, and then they just couldn't leverage it again. I don't know, bro. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just want the Cowboys to lose. That's all I need. As long as the Cowboys lose, then all will be well in the universe for me.
I'll be right in the world.
Yeah.
Man. I'm okay. Other than that, I'm okay. How
I feel you. I'm good, man. Yeah, no, I'm good, really good. Got one of my boys down here from New York, so it's cool to see fam and stuff. We're gonna take the kids out later to the movies and stuff.
Nice. What are you gonna see?
The new Aquaman.
The new one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tell me how it is.
Yeah, when you got kids, you got to find something friendly.
Yeah, you tell me your opinion, because I've heard stuff about it, and I've known people that went to go see it, so I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, damn. Yeah. There's all kind of stuff. Hey, it's just exactly. We will enjoy the time.
Yes.
But and I'm sure it will be.
That movie popcorn, that makes it all better, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, folks, we're talking about customer service today, and customer service plays out in a lot of ways. For employees, what I wanted to do, and Walt has some stuff to share as well. Of course, we come and bring you some great information. What I'm going to do is if you're an employee and you want to understand how your payroll department should be giving you customer service, right? And we're talking about your paycheck. So it's like, what customer service do I get behind this? And it can vary from company to company. What I mean by it can vary is the type of things that the payroll department is allowed to answer, right? Or they're responsible for, not even allowed to answer, like they're actually responsible for. For instance, you may call and say, hey, my medical deduction is wrong. Now, good first guess that you call your payroll department to handle that, but they may have to actually send you to someone in benefits. Maybe they can answer. It really all varies on how the company, and that's what I mean. It varies company to company, depending on who, right? So
depending on the structure, man. Yep.
Yeah, depending on the structure. I keep getting the celery team ringing in my head when we talk about variations. I hear that there's no playbook. I just hear him hearing them in my head, right? There's no playbook. There's no playbook. Yuval, thank you. And he's so right. There's no playbook when it comes to payroll and how the payroll department is set up, who the payroll department is reports to. And that all impacts, by the way, a little nugget that I learned this past year about whether payroll sits on HR, under HR or finance, right? For a long time, I thought it doesn't matter who they sit. You got to do the same job. And for the most part, that is correct until we get to the customer service piece. So survey says that if payroll sits under HR, the customer service is better than if payroll sits under finance. And the reason why is finance folks are very, and payroll folks too. And that's why customer service is important. And that's why we're talking about it a lot right now, because customer service should be elevated no matter where you are. But Anyway, the survey said that it suffers because if payroll is under finance, the answers that you get are very black and white. There's an error. Either I messed it up or you messed it up, but either way, you're waiting till the next paycheck to get it. Point blank, done, done. Very current, very straightforward, very black and white answers. Whereas in HR, it's a different experience because now HR has that balancing act that they have to pull off between keeping employees happy, but also being responsible for the company, right? Acting on the company's behalf. But really mainly the employee experience, right? HR owns that. I think it's probably arguable, but I think they have if not own it, they have a big ownership in it. And that's where we see, survey says, that's where we see the big difference. And I can tell, it makes me think, and I don't know if you could think about back in your career, like how that customer service was delivered, whether when you were under finance or whether you were under HR, right? I feel like when I was under finance, I got a lot of support for the very short answers. Oh, you got to wait till next week. Yep, we got support for that, right?
Yes.
But in HR, it's no, Brian, can we do it today? Is there anything we can do right now for the employee? And right, that
See,
is
because if you think about it, like the finance team is okay. How can we? A lot of finance teams. I'm not gonna say every finance team is this way,
correct.
But a lot of finance teams in my career that I've worked with or for, their main thing is bottom line and how to cut expenses, how to save money, how to say, hey, instead of doing an off cycle, we'll add it to the next check so we don't have that off cycle fee.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Things like that. And then, but from HR, how can we get this person paid as soon as possible? Whether that's off cycle or a faster option. Like I know back in the day, it used to always, can we do a wire? Like that was always one of the things that people would say. So those are the kind of the different, I think the different mindsets, because I think there's two different mindsets with finance and with HR in some cases.
Yeah, and you said what you made me think of. Thanks for that. You're absolutely right. It, folks out there, for your paycheck, if you're having problems like on payday with your check, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, folks. Escalate that. Be polite. More bees with honey. But I think if you if you really escalate it enough, you'll get your money that day. You know what I mean? And you need it, and you're due that money. And in some cases, it's legal, and you legally owe me my money right now. And it's up to you if you want to wait to get it, right? Because by default, we kind of payroll will sometimes just push back on that rule and say, hey, no problem, we'll fix it. Sorry, but it's going to be in the next paycheck. And it's up to you to be like, hey, no, that's not okay. I need it right now. So some of the things that you should get from your payroll department is amazing customer service, first of all, right? Regardless of what they're responsible for, where they sit exactly. You should have amazing customer service for them, but they should help you understand your paycheck, your calculations if you have questions, what the deductions are. They may not know why that medical rate is different, but they can say, oh, that's medical. That's your medical deduction. Because sometimes things are coded and people word things differently. And please believe, folks, a lot of this stuff is somebody in the background making up the descriptions and names and codes for this stuff. So it's this person back, right? This person back in the day thought that was cute, and now it doesn't really resonate anymore. But anyway, so you may have to ask them how my taxes are calculated, right? How your net amount has gotten. How did you get to this net amount? Those things are absolutely from payroll, right? Errors. If you have an error, they're going to be the first contact to help you resolve it, even if it's not their doing. We have in organizations, we have folks that there's a lot of what do they say? There's a lot of chefs in the pot. There's a lot of chefs in the kitchen.
A lot of chefs in the kitchen.
A lot of chefs in the kitchen.
A lot of hands in the pot.
A lot of hands, exactly. So what I have the honor of doing, and it is reining those chefs in, right? And my team is responsible for employee data, right? So we're responsible for anywhere employee data is. We have to so we try to rein those chefs in. But anyway, so with that being said, don't beat up your payroll department if they don't know everything, but they should help you get the answers, right? What's up?
Yeah, a good organization should have a good, I don't know, flow chart or organizational chart.
Organizational,
So
yeah.
our breakdown of who handles what. So if you go to payroll and maybe payroll can't answer it, still payroll should give you a level of service, customer service, that they point you in the right direction at least. Not just payroll, but anybody. If you call them and say, hey, something's going on with my benefits, and if the current setup for your company is not one where the payroll department handles that, they can try to answer it for you, but if they don't know the answer, they should forward you or point you in the right direction so you can get the proper answer that you're looking for.
Yep, exactly right. Yeah. Another good one, another one that it could be a kind of combination, but garnishments. If you have, or if you're unfortunately garnished, and garnishments for folks, if we're talking about paychecks, if you're not familiar with garnishments, thank God, because that means you haven't been garnished. But what it means is like a creditor, a tax levy. So a creditor, right? If you think, oh, I didn't pay that credit card bill, and F them, I ain't paying them ever. They're gonna catch up with you eventually. And
unless you live in Texas.
oh, what's the rule in Texas, sir? Tell me.
So I think it may have changed.
Look it up. Okay. So basically with a garnishment, I'm gonna break down the three types of garnishments generally. And one of them is creditor. If you thought you running away from that credit card bill, nope. It may take time, but they go through the court process and a lot, and they hit your check. And that goes right to your HR and payroll department. And maybe you see the copy as well. And sometimes you have a chance to answer, and if you handle it directly, then they won't garnish you. But if you don't answer in a timely manner, boom, the payroll department is mandated to put that in. It's not their choice. What's up? What'd you find?
So for Texas, there's only certain types of garnishments that can be taken out of your check. And so this may be a good for you to know if you're a Texas employee. So in Texas, wage garnishments are prohibited by the Texas Constitution, except for child support, spousal support, student loans, or unpaid taxes. There is an exception for out-of-state judgments that have been domesticated in Texas from a state that allows wage garnishments. But they said that a debt collector cannot garnish your wages for ordinary debts.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's awesome call out, bro. Thank you. See, I love the little nuggets. I love when this sparks little things. Oh, wait a minute, I remember this. That's what 40 years of payroll brings you, folks. Word up. Little things that we forgot about. We know more about payroll than most people have. We forgot more about payroll than most people know.
Yes.
Yeah. And then that was the creditor one. Then it's tax levies. If you think you're running from your taxes and not paying your tax, government will.
What if I told you that your boss skydives, Tim in marketing is a magician, and Sam in accounting does sums in his head while standing on his hands? Seeing sides of the people you work with but never see, sides that inform and inspire their work and that can inspire yours, is what The Talent Show is all about. Email me, Tom Alexander, host of The Talent Show, at talentshow@backboneinc.com, and show us what you got. I look forward to seeing you on The Talent Show.
Put it right into your thing. And then, of course, the other one, the third is child support. Is actually another one I know about, but we'll talk about it. But so, yeah, child support, of course. And the big thing is with child support is that there are advocates out there trying to standardize it across every state, because every state has its own rule. Every state has its own document that they send to your payroll professional. So again, like the big call out, I think, with garnishments is, folks, they're not doing that because they want to, oh, this is Brian in payroll, he hates me anyway, this is why he did that and all. They can.
We have legal obligation.
We're legally,
because certain agencies, certain creditors, certain whatever, garnishers, they will come at the employer and hit the employer with fees and say, hey, you didn't set this up in a timely manner. You didn't respond. You didn't submit the answer to this question form that we needed filled out. And the next thing you know, the employer is getting litigation next. Oh, we're coming at you now. Now your response. I think there's a couple of different states that where if you don't answer or you don't set it up in time as the employer, they can come at you for the entire debt.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't want people to get mad at their payroll department. You know what I mean? Well, I knew Walt didn't like me.
A good payroll department or good practice for a payroll department. So your payroll department, because we're talking about customer service that a payroll department or HR department should give you, right? So in this case, when a garnishment is received, from whether it comes from legal or whatever, good practice would be to reach out to the manager of the employee or the employee directly.
Yep.
And you could let them know, hey, we got this garnishment. We have to set it up.
Mhm.
But that will give them, because what a lot of people don't understand is that you can call those creditors and be like, hey, I got this garnish. Let's set something on my check.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'll pay $50 a check if you just agree to not garnish me or something, or I'll pay it directly. And they still allow you to do that. And then, because most of these creditors, they'll work with you. And you might be able to set up something where you pay a partial amount.
Yes.
And much less than it's paying the whole amount at a much higher rate.
Thank you
or
for
whatever.
Saying that. Exactly what I'm saying. Yep, that's exactly right. I love it.
Garnishers, man, we got so much experience with those things, man.
Oh my gosh, for real. And that's what I'm saying. Every state is different. The amounts are different. To piggyback on what Walt was saying about the amounts, you can save money because we're mandated to do a certain calculation. Whereas if you call and you handle your own business, you can be like, yes, I'll do 50, 25. They don't care. They just need their money.
They just want something.
They want their money and they want to plan it. So it pays for you to deal with it. The other one is, which is not very, or I did it at a college I was at. We allowed employees to self-impose deductions, and there's a name for it. There's a name for the garnishment, but it's basically allowing the employee to come to you with a document and say, hey, can you garnish my check and send it to these people? And yeah, but I would warn against it, because then you open up you open up the door for or any employee to bring in you any garnishment. You don't want to get into that business. You want to be mandated to do garnishments. You know what I mean? I think that's the best practice. Yeah. And then these could be some things that are often in payroll, but could be in HR. But it's like the gray stuff. What's up?
I want to put one note out there is that if you are self-employed and are an independent contractor, and because you're not considered an employee,
right,
they shouldn't set up a garnishment for you because you're not considered technically an employee of that entity. So just be mindful of that.
Wait a minute, but aren't there garnishments for 1099? I feel like there's something there. Gosh, folks, if anybody's in AP, then I gotta ask my niece. She's in AP. Yeah, but yeah, that's a great call out. There's probably a different process, a different thing if you're self-employed. Yeah. So some of the things I just wanted to leave you with is like the gray area, right? You think you're gonna call payroll because of it, because like basically if it happened in your check, you're gonna call payroll, right? But these are some of the things that could be they need somebody else's help. The benefit deductions, like I was talking about, the amounts, right? If it changed, a good payroll team might be well versed and say, hey, did you just change for open enrollment? Did you just elect something new? Did you just have a life event? They know, and this is not for nothing. This is an area where if you're interested in getting into payroll and HR, these are areas where you get to flex over and learn more. There's so much in payroll and HR to learn. There's so much that you can stretch over and, oh, I want to learn about that. And I want to learn. There's more to it than meets the eye. Anyway, I'm going down. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited about getting young people excited about getting into payroll. That's one of our journeys this season for our main payroll show. And we're absolutely going to bring some of those elements to the Paycheck show because we need young people in payroll. So if you, or any age for that matter, but mainly the concern is that payroll is not going to get backfilled in the next 10 years. And Walt also found it in doing our research with CPAs. That's another industry that is aging. And overall, shoot, if you're looking to get your kids or yourself into a different thing, look at these industries where there's no backfill there, right? There's a lot of industries that everybody that's in it is getting older and there's no people to take over.
And there's lots of opportunity for you to make money in these industries too, because they're saying that somebody that doesn't have as much experience as a CPA, they're freshly graduated and they're coming in and getting these huge roles because
there's nobody else.
There's nobody out there really. You know?
So anywho, I'm going down that rabbit hole. But anyway, and this was one of the things that see, this is how I got into HR, because I never said no as I was growing in payroll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brian, we need you to do this. We need you. I'm like, but that's not me. This is all right. No problem. Fine. I'll do it. And sometimes I was the only one with the skill set to do these things because the technicality that it needs or what. And
Yeah.
after a while, I was like, man, this is cool. I'm learning a lot of stuff. Whatever. So anyway, if you call payroll, the areas that they could have to partner with to help you get the answer, pay benefit deductions, your time clock, a punch error. Oh, I remember what I was going to say earlier. I got to come back to garnishments. So your benefit deduction amounts, your time clock, pay time off, your PTO. Like right now, people get confused because they'll call Walt all the time, hey, fix my PTO. And Walt's like, that is HR. Here's Brian. That's my boy Brian over here. Boom, boom. It's the other guy. It's the other bald head guy here. And that honestly, PTO is something that could sit either way. The reason why it ends up in payroll sometimes is the technicalities of it all. Payroll's very equipped to deal with these minute details and the devil, and so that's payroll's job. So when it gets to that level, they're like, "Oh, this must be a payroll thing. It's PTO."
Mm-hmm.
But no, in HRIS has it here. And so that's one of the things. PTO, they could need to talk to your manager. So they may not be able to solve it in a vacuum for you. They may have to pause, take some notes, go get some information, go look at some things, and then get back to you.
There's different levels or different components that go into the service that you get from your payroll or HR department, right? When it comes to the PTO, because to your point, because you just put something in my head, Brian, about them having to go to the employee's manager to get approval, right? To say, hey, the employee came to me about this. Can you confirm that this is correct?
Yes.
Because a good payroll professional or HR professional should get some sort of verification, get some sort of thing to make sure that they're not doing anything wrong or erroneously in the system and overpay somebody.
Yep.
Because there's been times where in my career, I'll speak on myself, where I was moving so fast just to help the employee out. Oh, I got to do this because it's right by the employee.
Yes.
And I didn't earlier in my career, I didn't think about going to my manager or going to their manager and getting that approval. And it ended up burning me in the long run. Oh, this person didn't have that time. Or this person didn't do this, whatever it is.
Such a great call out. Yeah. Don't beat up your payroll department. They're not right. They don't have all the power. They got to get approval. And then time clocks and pay time off is one of them. Another one is compliance, right? If it's out of compliance, there may be somebody else governing the compliance and the policy of things.
Somebody else might be the policy police.
Not payroll, and which is good actually, because you don't want payroll can't have too much power because we do impact that check. We're touching your check. So you don't want those people to have you. They need to do everything with approval.
Hey, what cartoon was another one? No, what cartoon was that? Was it He-Man? I have the power.
The power, yes. Payroll has the power. Payroll has the power. So they need to be very heavily regulated and with a lot of oversight. We're about to give you guys paychecks. Hopefully, if we find a true crime story, we're gonna bring our first true crime episode to It's About Your Paycheck. And those are super fun because we just get to gossip about somebody doing some bad stuff.
We'll tell you some shady things that employees did, or some shady things that a payroll person did, stealing from their employees. We'll let you know.
So we want to make sure it's the right payroll true crime story for you folks. But we're coming with that, and the compliance is all over it because business owners love to evade taxes and then get caught up and go to jail for it. So I don't know why they want to keep doing that, but they keep doing it. Another one is OT, your overtime. You may call payroll complaining about your overtime. They don't know, folks. They don't know. You got to go to your manager for that. Or payroll may need to touch base with your manager, get that confirmation that Walt missed that time, and get the approval and say, okay, sure, I see that you missed 5 hours. What's up?
Breathe deep. Imagine your legs more limber in Duluth Trading Double Flex Denim. Envision euphorically squatting for that can of suds, bending for your toolbox in a state of bliss, lunging for your laser level on a whole new level. Relax and allow the flex to fill you with ability. Find your inner flex in Double Flex Denim only at Duluth Trading.
This isn't a pushback on you listeners as employees, right? But I do want to call out, especially with the time clocks and the paid off time, anything that is revolving, anything that has the punch in or whatever, punch out, you have a responsibility as well. We have a responsibility as employees to look at our time clocks to make sure we're paid correctly. We have a responsibility as employees to review our pay stubs to make sure that we're paid correctly. And then the next level of that is our managers reviewing the time cards and making sure that there's no punches, that we didn't miss a punch in, or because sometimes one of the common things that we see when it comes to clock in, clock out is that a person will forget a punch and it goes to the next day and they get a lot of hours on their check or in their time card, and if nobody catches it, it's going to go to payroll, and payroll is going to pay what the data that's given to them. So sometimes a lot of these employees are like, oh, I didn't know I got overpaid, or I didn't know this, I didn't know that. So my challenge to you as the employee is to do more research and do your due diligence when it comes to your time card so you can avoid those errors in the future.
Yeah, a great call out, man. And the last one is just along with is your time card again, like breaks. When you're California is a big call out for meal breaks. They have an automatic penalty if their employees don't get to take their meal breaks. So if you're in California, you're a W-2 employee full time, and meal breaks is a big. Go look up meal breaks. You guys are privy or mandated to get your meal break, and you have to sign off if you're not taking your meal breaks on time. That has to be your
Good
power.
Call out, man. Good
right?
Call out.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say about garnishments real quick is the manager piece, right? So just in case folks, because how I said, like we were saying, oh, you can communicate with the employee or the manager, you said, and that made me think, I don't want folks to get upset if they say, oh, my manager showed me this garnishment, child support, blah, blah. I don't want him knowing my business. Sometimes it's just the way the company works, because I was at a company doing payroll one time. I wasn't allowed to interact with the employees. I had to go through their managers. Those were my points of contact. The managers would deal with the employee. The manager's privy. You may not like the manager and all that stuff, but the manager is privy to that information. You're their employee. You know what I mean? Probably to the extent of HIPAA. There are probably some HIPAA rules around that, but even that, as managers, they might have to sign off on HIPAA, which means they get to know, but they can't share that information outside of just you and them. They can't just go to your department and be like, oh, back there, Chris, yeah, we see you got herpes here, man. We got to take care of it.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, you putting my business out,
Yeah.
or even something good. Hey, Carol, you're pregnant. No, you can't do that. Congratulations, Carol's pregnant, everybody. You can't do that.
Bro.
If you're a manager and you signed the HIPAA agreement, you cannot talk about people's medical stuff, and you shouldn't, regardless. Even if you did or didn't sign it, whatever, the HIPAA stuff is bound, and it's private information. So, but just to circle back to that, because some people may think, why do they know that? Why does HR keep doing this, or payroll, blah, blah, blah? Because they may not be allowed. They may not be allowed to talk to you directly, or to interact with you directly, or email you directly. They have to go to their manager.
And for you as the employee, so if you're sick, to your point, Brian, if you do have something going on with you, and you want to be careful what you divulge.
Yes.
Like you want to be careful, because it could it could cause people to assume or to paint a picture with your HR department or your payroll department or your company in general. If you come out and say, oh, I have all this drama, I have this medical stuff, I have this, and hopefully they're a good company, they don't do that. But I have heard of situations where somebody divulged something and they thought hey, if I share this, the company's gonna sympathize with me or whatever. They're like, the company's gonna pull me closer. And no, that person ended up being terminated because they were like, oh, you have too much going. They were in one of those states that it was an at-will state. The company, of course, the company didn't put that in the documentation.
Right. No.
This is why, but they just said, okay, this person's not gonna be reliable coming up, so we're gonna get rid of them. So just be careful. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's a fine line, right?
It's true. It's very true, because one time Shoot, I had a boss one time that like pulled it out of me what was going on personally. And when I told him, he was like, gotta leave that stuff at the door, gotta do your job. I was like, why did I do this? And that's why you got to be very even keel, folks. This is just a life note. Triumph and defeat, man. Treat them both just the same. You can't stay in the highs too long and you can't stay in those lows too long.
Yep.
You got to deal with them regardless and celebrate the wins. I'm not saying you don't celebrate the wins and whatnot, but you don't lose focus because you're so happy, you lose focus. You're so sad, you lose focus. No, come on. And that's a big thing at work. It's just,
Yeah.
you gotta just keep things at arm's length. Like Walt said, be careful what you share on your personal. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. There are these cartoons going around on TikTok, and it's just like the stick figure ladies,
Yeah.
Veronica, and so I forget the boss's name, but it's great. I love it. I love it. They are, shoot, I wish we could get the person on, the voice on and talk and come on this show because they really are about employee rights, right? If you really look at these cartoons, it's about the employees' rights because the last one I just saw, or yeah, just saw, it, the boss called somebody that called the Veronica at home on a Saturday. And she's, oh, I really need you to come in today. She's, first of all, I blocked your number on the weekends. How did you call me? And the manager's appalled. What? You blocked my number? Yeah, it's Saturday. How'd you call? Oh, I called from a different line. And she's okay. Yeah, that's how you got through. Yeah, it's my day off. She's, oh no, I need help today and da da da. She's, yeah, no, that's great, but it's my day off. Sorry, I'm sorry. She's, no, you don't have to be sorry. She's, no, I'm sorry for you because I'm not coming in.
Yeah.
You're gonna be shorted today. And she'll see you Monday. And she's, oh, actually, no, it's Martin Luther King, so I'll see you Tuesday. Click. And that's true. You can't let managers bully you guys. Like you have rights. You
Yeah.
have rights. Don't think, oh, if I don't go in on Saturday, I'm gonna get fired. If that's not your schedule, if that's not what you were hired for, you can push back. They even have another clip where they're talking about where she's talking about the at will on a job description at the end. It says, and any other duties assigned.
Yes.
She was like, so what does that look like? And the manager couldn't explain it, and it was in an interview.
Yeah.
So Veronica just got up and left the interview because she was.
No, it's true. It's true because employees use that to say, I can get you to do whatever. If I need you to clean the company fridge in here, you go clean the fridge.
And basically it just highlighted all the person wanted was like an example of it.
Yep.
And the manager was like, I can't give you an example because, oh my gosh, there's so many things. And that's a red flag. You don't want, you want them to be able to put that into some type of scope. Yeah, I get it. Any other duties. She should have been able to say, not anything. It's just anything that you could actually help with. You know what I mean? That might be a good answer. So anywho, remember your payroll department is there to ensure that your compensation is accurate, compliant, and legal requirements, right? Has the compliancy with all the legal requirements. Don't hesitate to reach out to them if you have questions and concerns. If they can't help you directly, they can definitely get you to the right department. And Walt is going to share with us some of the challenge that all customer service pros face, right? Customer service is a tough job. And I used to be scared of it. I used to love payroll because it wasn't so customer service heavy, but as payroll has evolved, elevated, escalated, customer service is absolutely at the forefront of payroll. So what you got for us, Walt?
As we near the end of this episode, we like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to you for listening. Before we sign off, here are a couple of quick things. Don't forget to follow It's About Payroll on LinkedIn and It's About Your Paycheck on Facebook and TikTok. We love engaging with our audience, and you'll be able to receive exclusive updates and behind-the-scenes content. Thank you for being a part of our payroll community, and thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going. So yeah, a lot of us, whether you're in payroll, HR, no matter what job you're in, there's somebody that you have to serve or answer to, right? There's somebody that you may have to provide a report for or do data for or do an activity for or whatever, right? We're just going to really talk about some of the things that you could do to help improve your customer service, right? So let me get into that. I have about 4 different things. So the first one is AI. Utilize AI. Like, I know it's new and there's
big.
different things that you can do. But one of the things that Brian and I use is Chat GPT all the time. Like we'll put our stuff in there and it'll.
Pace of change in the world of business is fast, and that drives incredible complexity for the world of human resources.
Welcome to the HR Data Lab's Brown Bag Lunch, a series of conversations with experts inside and outside the world of human resources on how to innovate, measure, and evolve our practices.
Our goal is to help provide you with practical examples of how HR has to change and to meet in this complex business environment.
Every week, we'll talk to new and different voices on all aspects of human resources.
And guess what? You get to chat with us live.
Live?
Live.
So they can answer questions or they can ask us questions.
They can ask, they can answer, whatever they want. They get to talk with us live.
That's awesome.
Sometimes we geek out on the data and technology that underlie the processes that drive the world of HR.
But the conversations are always insightful and fun. So please enjoy the HR Data Lab's Brown Bag Lunch.
Formatted in a way that we like, or it'll give us different things that we want, right? So in an era of AI, we need to view technology as a powerful ally,
Yes.
not a threat, right?
Yes.
We need to leverage those AI tools for our routine task and allowing for more time for our personalized customer interactions. And we can be more proactive in understanding and adapting to these changes that are coming, and it'll just enhance the efficiency. So the one thing that's said here is that leverage AI tools for routine tasks.
Yes.
Maybe there's different things that we can do. Instead of you doing it manually, you pop it into Chat GPT with the thing that you need, and it does it for you like that in a second. And okay, that gives me 5-10 minutes back or whatever. And that 5-10 minutes could add that 5-10 minutes for a payroll professional or someone in customer service and customer service in general. It could change your day. 5-10 minutes here, 5-10 minutes there, that can really change your day because you can focus on something else that may be a little bit more important or a little bit more that calls for a little bit more more critical, a little bit more exertion or whatever it is, right? That's one thing you want to need. Lean into AI.
Emails, right? You could get help with emails. They can summarize meetings after a meeting.
Yes.
Like we're going to use that. These little things that just you're not asking it to. It's not plagiarizing or nothing. That's just an organizational thing that's just helping you. You got to leverage that. Things like that.
Leverage it, man. And then the next thing in customer service that you want to do, you want to stay relevant. But how do you do that? You do that through continuous learning and adaptation, right? That means you keep growing. So as like we just said with AI is coming in, you have to change with that. You have to grow with it. There's going to be some bumps in the road and stuff like that, but you have to continue to grow. So like staying relevant by adopting a mindset of continuous learning, regularly updating your skills, staying informed about industry trends and being adaptable and embracing the change, whether that's from a communication standpoint, customer preferences, or service methods, right? So really like a simple way to gauge what your customers want is to do surveys and say, okay, hey, what do our customers, the people that we serve, what do they want? And that's how you can stay relevant. And you could and you can just continue to learn and grow as your customers learn and grow too, right? That's why they have so many analytics that we use and stuff like that. All these different companies use these different things, and most companies have somebody who handles reporting. And say, hey, show me this, show me that. What are our customers like? What don't they like? Did they like this thing that we did, or did they not like this thing that we did? Like, how do we grow? Another thing that can help you during for customer service is staying positive during the tough times. And how can you do that? You can do that through being mindful and self-care. Take care of yourself. Take that break. Like when your break comes up, take it. I understand you might be busy. There's days that Brian, you can attest to this, where payroll's just busy and everything's hitting the fan and everything's going wild, and our lunch comes up and we're like, okay, I gotta do a working lunch, or I gotta do a shorter break or whatever. But you still need to. It's okay for you to, especially if you're staring at a screen all day, it's okay for you to walk away for 5-10 minutes at a time and just, okay, I just need to breathe a little bit. right? So in the face of personal and professional challenges, you want to prioritize that self-care and being mindful, right? So you want to practice resilience by focusing on the now and the presence and getting support. Seek support when you need help, when you feel overwhelmed, and get support from your team if you need that, and maintaining a healthy work-life balance. And another thing that will help with being positive is having a positive work environment or workplace culture that values well-being. There's some companies that don't value well-being. They're just like, hey, you just need to get it done. It's about business.
Yeah,
But
unfortunately,
you need to, that's why we have the power as employees to manage ourselves and manage our mindfulness and our self-care. So that's something that you really want to focus on. And the last thing is, as a manager, this is speaking to you employees who are in a supervisory or managerial role, right? And it's about balancing the consumer and your employee needs. So as a manager, you have to walk a line where you have to manage these people and make sure that they're doing their thing. And then you have to serve like maybe the C-suite, or maybe you have to do this, or as a manager, you still have to practice customer service. You still have to, but you also have to make sure that your team or those people that report to you are also doing the same thing. So you have to maintain that balance, right? Because if you're always just focused on your team and your team is always needing you to guide them and you always have to be on them about stuff, that may take your focus away from other places where you have to provide customer service as a manager. So you want to be able to strike a balance between providing excellent customer service and fostering a positive work environment for your team. Empower your employees with the necessary tools and training. But another thing in here, as a manager, you want to listen to your employees' insights. Hey, they're actually doing the work. They're actually in the field, right? They're the soldiers on the field.
Yep.
That like leading like the front line. And so if they come to you with an idea, you want to listen to it, right? And consider it, right? I'm not saying that we're going to make this change, because you may have to get authorization. Depending on your title, you may have to get authorization to implement that change, but it may be something that may impact and greatly impact or positively impact the work environment and positively impact the work there, right?
Yep.
Create an atmosphere that allows for collaboration to happen, and recognize that satisfied employees contribute to satisfied customers.
Oh, I love that.
Right? So satisfied employees contribute to satisfied customers, right? So if your employees are happy, then your customers are going to be happy, because they're going to be like, oh man, it's almost like you're giving customer service to your employees and the other people. And that is going to be contagious. So if your employees feel empowered, they're going to take that same energy, that same mindset, and give it to everybody else. Yeah. It's that servant leadership.
Yep.
So remember, in the dynamic world of customer service, adaptability, continuous learning, and a positive mindset are key ingredients for success.
Yeah.
Be adaptable, be kind, be mindful, and continue to learn and grow. And own up to your mistakes. Own it. So when you make a mistake and you may give somebody the wrong information, or you may misunderstand what they're saying, and that's okay. These things happen. Yep. Me as a payroll professional, I've given someone the wrong amount for retro one time and said, and realized that, hey, I gave you the wrong amount. Please forgive me. I'm sorry for the confusion. Here you go. Because you still are human. You're still human. Yeah. You're going to make a mistake. Yep. And that's where the customer service comes in, and where you're like, hey, I made this mistake, but here I caught it and I corrected it. So here you go. Yep. That's it, man.
No, that's dope, man. I think that's great. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And if you're reaching out to payroll, give them some grace. They should absolutely deliver high customer service. But because of all the things Walt said, customer service is hard. So if you're a customer service professional and you're the payroll professional back there, just keep those things in mind.
Yep.
And work it into your daily, man. Just to, like you said, be adaptable. The continuous learning that's probably my claim to fame. I just always trying to stay learning, man. Trying to stay learning something. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, dope, man. That's it. You capped it off perfectly for us, Walt. Thank you so much. And folks, it's about your paycheck. Check us out in the coming weeks as we come to deliver that fun, true payroll crime stories for y'all. And it'll be like, beware, right? Because if these things are happening out there, you guys gotta beware, because folks take advantage of us. Folks try to hack into our paychecks all the time. So we gotta beware. We're gonna try to cover some of those stories for y'all in the coming weeks. But until then, y'all have a good day. We love you. Peace.
Peace.